Hello, welcome to the Opinionistics. I'm your host, John Malone, and for this episode, we may not have co-host joining us because of reasons. But anyway, introducing from Los Angeles, Keith Salto Janes.
Hello! Hello. Thanks for having me. I'm so sorry that I incapacitated the co host today. And it's just the two of us. He's. Okay, don't worry about him. It's just the two of us. How's it going?
Life's going great.
Great. That's good that live's going great.
Oh yes, absolutely. So tell me what you're doing this week or things you've done recently.
Okay, well, today I had a cup of iced tea that I poured into a cup. I also got a haircut, and I've been promoting my new book. We can talk about any three of those things if you'd like.
Oh, okay. What's the book called?
Oh, the book. I was hoping you were going to talk about the haircut. Okay, the book. Just kidding. So it's my first book called The Improv Mindset: How to Use Improv as a Superpower for Success. It's all about how you can use the skills of improv in your everyday life to be able to communicate better, to socialize better, to be better at meetings, to be more quick and witty, and just to show your own personality, because that's what improv is all about.
I guess that makes sense.
Yeah. Have you done any improv yourself?
Oh yes, I've
You
done
have.
improv in the past for sure.
Really? Well, that's great. Where did you do improv?
So I did improv at Pendleton School of Theatre.
Oh,
They're
nice.
close to my area, and after that, I did like a bridging course at another college in the city centre. And right now, I'm currently at uh, university doing drama contemporary performance. And yeah, life's going
Wow.
great.
You're in class right now recording this podcast. That's amazing.
Oh no, I'm done with my lectures for today. I'm in
Okay.
my accommodation, so yeah.
That's great. And you're learning improv in those classes, I bet, right?
Yes, in a way, kind of. I've
Kind of.
certainly I've certainly learned proper improv in college, but what I'm doing in university is more like devising kind of theatre kind of.
Nice. That's great. I also studied theater in university myself. I have a degree in theater. It's really fun. That's great.
All right, sounds good.
Nice.
And what does your educational background look like beyond theatre?
Beyond theater. Well, I did a lot of theater in college, and recently had a show off Broadway. But besides that, I also did a lot of improv and comedy training from a lot of places: the Second City Improv Olympic West, Upright Citizens Brigade, some studies at the Annoyance Theater in Chicago, and just sort of learned every style that I could. And then figured out my own style within that style. Learning from different teachers, I think, is the best way to learn anything, because everyone's trying to tell you this is the way to do it. But the more people you learn from, you realize, oh, everyone's saying the exact same thing, and it's just figuring out the easiest way that works for you.
Fabulous.
Yeah. Does that answer the question? I think so. Right?
Oh yeah,
Okay. Good.
certainly answered the question.
Good. Just making. I wasn't sure if I should go into more other educational classes, like when I had to take a driving course after I had a DUI. I'm just kidding. I never had a DUI. That's fake.
I honestly don't mind what we go on about. Just go with the flow, you know.
That's what improv's all about.
Way. So, what inspired you to get into improv?
Oh, good question. Um, so I feel like when I was studying theater at my school in college, university, that because as a kid, I used to love to perform. I used to love to put on costumes and do little skits for family members and stuff like that. But then going through later school, I realized that was a good way to get bullied if you wear a costume to school. So then I became very, very shy. But then in high school and college, I started to just do a little bit of improv, and it was so fun for me. So while my theater classes were script analysis and learning about theater history, which was all important to have, it wasn't really that exciting to me. And I was like, oh, this is what theater is. It's sort of like analytical in a way, which is a very left brain approach to it, which is, again, important to have. But then when I started doing improv and noticed that I can be my own, I can be the performer, I can be the writer, I get to be the director, and I get to help create this thing in the moment with other people. That really basically woke me up and it felt so invigorating to be able to do this and to do shows where no matter how bad it was, it'll never happen again. And no matter how good it is, it'll never happen again. And it's all in the moment in this magical piece of temporary art. And that really got me hooked. And then that affected other areas of my life. As a writer, that helps me write faster because of improv, and just talking to people as well. Just improv affects everything. It shows you how to have more fun in your life and be more creative, even if you're not on a stage.
Okay. Okay. So you said you've written a book,
That's true. This is the fact.
and what specifically is the book about?
So the book, yeah, it's how to use improv skills in your life. I'm the founder of Improv LA, a training center here in Los Angeles. And through that, I've been teaching for many, many years, and also travel internationally teaching. The closest to you I've gotten, I've been in London teaching and performing, but I just got back last week from Japan for the fourth time, doing some shows and some classes there, and just teaching all these people from all around the world. I also work with a lot of producers and executives at Netflix and Disney and Amazon, a lot of those studios here in Los Angeles. And the more people I work with, seeing how it helps them, how improv helps them with their creativity, is what made me want to write the book. Of how can people learn this if they're not taking my class? How are they able to access these skills if they don't have an improv group? Because a lot of improv, you have to have a group of people to practice with. So the book is really about how can you practice exercises first in your own home, on your own, without anybody needed. And then how can you also do some of these exercises in the wild, as I said just then, in the wild, out in the world. Like if you're going to the grocery store or a bank, how can you practice some of these improv exercises when you interact with other people? So it's really how to use those those skills in every area of your life, because we improvise every single day. The moment we wake up, we're improvising. Even if we think we know it's going to happen in our day, we don't. It's all in improv.
Absolutely. Where do you see yourself 20 years from now?
Well, I know a lot of people have to imagine how they see themselves in 20 years, but I recently invented a time machine, so I know exactly where I'm going to be in 20 years. Now, it all depends on which timeline I'm on. So, I mean, in this one timeline, I know where I'll be. So I guess in another timeline that I don't know where I will be, this is all fake. I don't have a time machine, guys. In 20 years, I mean, I'm hoping there'll be more books, that the school has grown a bit more, they'll be doing more of the same of what I'm doing now, except expanded. More writing, more performing, more traveling. I'm traveling a lot, so maybe not more traveling, because jet lag is tough to get over. But the same amount of traveling, I'll say that. Not less, not more, the same amount. So yeah, doing more of what I'm doing now, and more of that, which I feel very lucky to say, because I'm getting to do stuff that I love currently, and that I feel very, very fortunate for that.
Very good.
Very good.
Yes.
And haha. Okay, go ahead.
I was going to say, would you rather sleep on the wall or on the ceiling?
Whoa. Wait a second. Is in this scenario, is the room I'm in tilted, or is it like it is? So one would be vertical, one would be horizontal.
It could be in any configuration.
Okay. Well, then I would say ceiling. As a kid, I used to like lay on the couch upside down and look and imagine myself walking on the ceiling. So I think I'd want to lay on the ceiling, and that would double the space of my bedroom too. Because if I had my bed on my ceiling, then I have this whole floor space that I can put more dressers or rugs or tables. If you want a table in the room, you can put so many things. You double the space of your house. So I'm going to say ceiling.
Yes, that makes a
Yes,
lot of sense.
that is my answer. What would you say? Would you say wall or ceiling?
Yeah, I would say ceiling
Yeah,
because
ceiling. Yeah.
when you sleep, you can certainly see who is walking in without them knowing that you're on the ceiling.
Oh, that's true. You have a lot of people walk in while you're asleep.
No, but it'd
Okay.
just be cool to like, oh, I'm so sneaky, they'll never know.
They wouldn't, because no one ever looks at the ceiling unless there's like what? Oh, there's a light that went out. Otherwise, people only look at the wall and the floor.
Oh yes, absolutely.
Hmm.
What could you give a 40-minute presentation on without any preparation?
Wow, that's 40 minutes. How long of a pause? Like, how many pauses can I take, or is it straight through? Can there be questions and answers in this 40 minutes? I need to know more before I give my answer.
There could be anything goes. There could be questions and answers, any amount of pause necessary, and so on.
Okay, well, the cheat answer would be improv because I've done this before. I've done 40 minutes and nothing prepared and questions and answers and interactive and a talk on improv. But that's not as a fun answer as I want to say. So I'm going to say 40 minutes. I think I would be able to talk about. I think I'd be able to talk 40 minutes about weird facts about the Beatles. That's what I think I would. That's what I think I'd be able to talk about. And I know you're somewhere right now that's pretty close to Liverpool, so I'm sure people ask you about the Beatles all the time, or maybe they don't. Do they?
Um, I don't, I don't think many people talk about the Beatles these days as they did back when they were still putting out music, like in the late 20th century.
That's right. That's true. Yeah, mid 20th, late 20th century, when they were putting out music, definitely they were more talked about. It depends which group of friends you have, though. Because I have a group of friends that's all we talk about is the Beatles, as if they're a new band today. I just sent a picture to one of my friends. I was like, "Look at this picture of Paul and George." But I think I can talk 40 minutes. I mean, I'm starting to right now talk 40 minutes about the Beatles, so I'm gonna stop.
Okay, fair enough.
Fair enough.
If you could live anywhere in the world, where would it be?
Oh, this is a tough question. This is a tough question. Um, because I feel like grass is greener, you know? Like whenever I'm somewhere for a long time, I think somewhere that's unlike it, I want to live. Like now that I live in a city, I was like, oh, I'd love to live in the country, but if I lived in the country, I'd go, oh, I wish I could live in the city. But for this question, anywhere in the world, I'm going to say Antarctica. And I'm going to say that because it is very different from anywhere I lived. And penguins are very funny. Penguins are hilarious. They're birds. They can't fly. They waddle around. The way they leap out of the water is hilarious. So I think I would say Antarctica because I like the cold. I haven't experienced that cold, but I like the cold. And penguins are funny. That's my answer. Antarctica.
Oh yes. What card or board game do you like to play?
I like to play 53 pickup. You might have heard 52 pickup before, but 53 is a little different because that little card that comes with the new deck of cards that gives you the instructions on cards and like a QR code, you keep that. And then you throw it down on the floor along with the other 252 cards. Now the way I play isn't with someone else. It's not a trick where I'm like, hey, pick up these 53 cards. I play it by myself. I'll do 53 pickup, throw all these cards on the floor, and then I have to pick up the cards. And while I'm doing that, I realize, oh, my floor is a little dirty. I should probably clean. Then I go and get the vacuum out, and then I clean my whole house. So really, this game is a way to get me to clean. 53 pickup. Try it. It's really fun.
Hmm. Okay, that's interesting. What is the best way to start the morning?
Probably standing up. It'd be really hard to go about your day if you were continually to lie down in your bed. It'd just be hard. It'd just be hard to go about your day. You know, if you're just lying down and you rolled off your bed and you were lying down the whole day. So I think the first and best thing you can do is stand up.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
suppose that makes sense.
that makes sense.
Yeah.
Hmm.
What silly or funny thing are you afraid of?
Silly or funny thing that I'm afraid of. Probably bees. Probably bees. I know they say bees, they don't sting you if you don't bother them. But I don't know. I might run into a bee that is like in a bad mood. and he's like, I'm just gonna sting you because I want to. So I'm afraid of like, what if I get the mean bee? I want to interact with the mean bee and get stung, even though that bee is probably gonna die after stinging me. Then I'll feel guilty. Then I'll feel injured from the sting and guilty. So that's why bees, honey's great, but you can just stay over there, okay? Just stay over there. I don't want you to be extinct. I know bees are a little endangered now, but like don't be extinct. Just stay over there, do your thing. I don't want to kill you because you're having a bad day. You sting me, so I'm gonna say bees. That's what may be silly, but I don't like bees. I like bees, but I don't want them near me.
Okay. Well, in your defense, it's the bee's fault trying to sting you and
It
then dies off.
is.
So yeah.
Yeah. So it's like I'm not doing anything. It's like I'm not messing with you. I just happen to walk by exactly where your hive was. I didn't know your hive was there. Wasn't trying to mess you. I just was happy to pick a flower that you maybe were sitting on. So it'd be your fault if you sting me and die, and then I'll feel guilty and I'll have to have a bee funeral. Bee coffins are expensive these days too. So I don't just bees. Yeah, don't come near me. I'm not gonna come near you by purpose. Just come on. Let's keep our distance.
Yes, just keep it chill.
Mm-hmm.
Which pizza topping do you most relate to?
Relate to. Wow, I like that. I'm gonna say the sauce. I'm gonna say the sauce, the tomato sauce, not a pesto or cream sauce. I'm gonna say tomato sauce because no one thinks about the tomato sauce, but it is integral to the pizza. People always think of the other toppings. No, you need these toppings. You need jalapenos. You need peppers or mushrooms, and then of course the cheese. I want extra cheese. I want light cheese. But the sauce is important. It's always there. It's doing its thing, and it wouldn't be the same without the sauce. And that's how I feel. Doing my thing. I'm always there. I'm always covered in cheese in real life too. So I feel like I'm like a tomato sauce.
Yeah, sounds good.
Yeah, this pizza does sound good. Do you have a
Oh
favorite
yeah.
pizza place where you are?
Yes. There's a local Domino's. Just
Domino's.
yes.
Wow. I wonder if Domino's there is the exact same as by me. I wonder if it's the exact same kind of pizza.
Yeah, I'm curious to find out about that too.
We're gonna have
But
to.
I can tell you,
Yeah,
Domino's here is yeah, it's quality. It's delicious.
I think so. Like when I was in London a few years ago, just the bread in general was better than the bread in America. So I imagine the crust and the dough at this Domino's is probably better than my local Domino's.
Yeah, the UK is like very strict food regulations, so everything you see like in foods, restaurants, and cafes, they're a lot more natural than it is in the
Yes.
US.
Yes. It's yeah, like I didn't feel like I needed a nap after eating a whole loaf of bread when I was in the UK. It felt like I was eating a bowl of vegetables.
Oh yeah,
I mean, I
absolutely.
remember seeing grocery stores where the milk and eggs weren't even refrigerated. Is that true?
Hmm.
Or
I
they were
never
in
thought of
like an open section,
yeah,
like a shelf. Yeah.
yeah,
While
yes.
here they're
There's an
behind glass. Yeah.
yes, a fully open refrigerated section, not just like
Yes.
not behind a closed door.
Yes, and I was like, "What is this? Isn't it going to go bad?" But probably because how natural it is, they're probably not sitting there for a week. They're only there for a couple of days, and then they're traded out for fresh ones, right?
Yes, absolutely, yeah.
Wow, that sounds good. I hope in Antarctica I can get fresh ingredients like this after I move there.
Cool. If you had to pick any character in a book, movie, or TV show, who is most similar to you?
Oh wow, that's a tough question. Um, I would probably say I'm gonna choose Batman. And not because of any of the bad things like that. My parents weren't murdered in an alley or anything like that. But Batman because he's rich. And you said similar to me. I guess I'm not saying similar to. I'm not answering the question properly. But what I'm doing is who would I want to be? So I'm thinking Batman just because he's so rich, and he lives in a big mansion. He has a cool car. I wouldn't want to fight crime. I would just want to like drive the car around and go to the Batcave when I wanted to like watch a movie. So I guess he's not as similar. It's just who I would pick. Batman.
Okay, yeah,
Oh, here, I'll
I can.
connect it. Batman, I'll say, yeah, we're similar because Batman likes his alone time, and I also like my alone time. So there, I'm choosing Batman.
Okay, cool, cool. Sounds good. Is there an app that you hate, but you still use it anyway?
Oh. Yes. All of them. Every app. Every app is like a love hate because there's good things about them, but then they're always like, you have to update, and then it changes how they're used, or it'll crash sometimes, or I have to enter in my password. I'm like, why? I don't remember. Why do I have to remember so many passwords? But there's also good ones because you can connect to different people on them. Yeah, so I'd say almost all of them because everything has an app now. You go to a restaurant and you want to order food, you got to use an app. You go into a bank, you got to use an app. You're paying a toll on a road, you have to use an app. Everything has an app. It's too many apps. Um, but I still use them anyways.
Hmm. All right then. How did you spend your last birthday?
Oh, my last birthday. I think I probably went for a hike and then I had friends over, had some food. I think I went and got sushi at my favorite sushi restaurant. Just a lot of things that I like. People I like, food I like, scenery I like. Um, Nothing too crazy. Nothing too like I've known people in the past that it's like, it's my birthday. I'm going to this fancy restaurant because it's my birthday. You all have to come, and then everyone else has to pay a ton of money. I don't think that's fair. I think for your birthday, if you want to bring people, don't make them have to work too hard for it. Make it easy for them. Anyways, that's how I spend my birthday.
Okay, sounds good. What is your favorite holiday tradition?
Hmm. Favorite holiday tradition, probably for Thanksgiving, because I think, yeah, I don't know. I've created a new Thanksgiving with one of my friends who, because I'm vegan and one of my friends is vegan, and just we started to host our own like vegan Thanksgivings. It started, we didn't plan this, it just started, and there was like a regular Thanksgiving, and we had vegan food, and then it's become a thing for many years, maybe 7, 8 years, where we always co host a vegan Thanksgiving. They're a great chef. They're a great cook. I can get by making a pasta salad or maybe cornbread. The last Thanksgiving, a lot of people did not like my cornbread, which I agree was dry and crumbly. But yeah, we do these vegan Thanksgivings, which is always fun. And then we always watch some TV specials of the Thanksgiving episodes of some of our favorite shows. And yeah, I like that because food's good, friends are good, the TV is good. That's probably my favorite tradition for holidays.
Fabulous. Who was the funniest person you've met?
Who I Funniest person I met. I one night was able to spend a whole night with Eric Idle of Monty Python, and I love Python. One of my favorite comedy influences is Monty Python, and got to spend a whole night sitting and drinking pints with Eric Idle. And we didn't ask him to, but he was doing Python bits and just taught. We had a great conversation about what is comedy. Um, that was pretty amazing, pretty surreal for me. And that's very, very Los Angeles. I feel like you never know who you're going to meet. But for me, like getting to hang out, it wasn't just a meeting, like a whole night of hanging out with Eric Idle was pretty magical.
Great. What's the most interesting documentary you've ever watched?
Oh, most interesting documentary. Um, there's a few documentaries that are on Netflix. Like what? I can't think of the name of it. Oh yeah, there's the documentary. This is a newer one that's on. I think it was on Netflix. I don't remember. It's called The Last of Us. It's all about how like a virus like kills all of humanity, and there's only a few people left. It was really fascinating documentary, all true, um, about how these people survive after a virus. That was a pretty good documentary.
Well, interesting.
Have you seen it?
Actually, no, I haven't seen it.
Okay, yeah, I think it's Netflix. I think it's Netflix. It's called The Last of Us. It's definitely a documentary and not a scripted show. Definitely a documentary.
Okay, I'll certainly check that out.
Yeah, I have to check it out.
Cool. Do you like spicy food?
Oh my, you looked in my kitchen. I love spicy food. I just ordered habanero powder yesterday because I want to try putting habanero powder on stuff that I eat to make it even spicier. I feel like there's a habanero should be the max. I don't know if you've ever tried ghost pepper or California Reaper or the scorpion pepper. It's too much. Like habanero is still tasty. Ghost pepper is too spicy, but that should be the maximum you can go. And then there's the California Reaper and Scorpion is like 10 times spicier than ghost pepper. We don't need spice that too spicy. I like spicy, but I like flavor, you know. So once you get hotter than that, there's no more flavor. So habanero is great because it has both flavor and it has both spice. So do I like spicy foods? Not at
All right,
all.
interesting. I like spicy food myself.
You do?
In
How
fact,
spicy do you go?
I I have a craving for it. Like I can go as
Really?
spicy as I want to.
Wow. What's your favorite spicy thing? Do you like is it like Thai food spicy, Indian food spicy, or like hot sauce spicy?
I'm talking hot sauce spicy.
Hot sauce spicy. What's the spiciest? Have you done ghost pepper?
No, not yet, but I've always wanted to try ghost pepper.
Yeah, it's become popular. So yeah, look for ghost pepper. I bet you can find some ghost pepper sauce. It's something else. It's something
Oh
else. And that's
yes.
not even the hottest. It's the hottest is I think right now is Scorpion and Carolina Reaper, which is 10 times hotter than ghost pepper. Who needs it that spicy? But you should try it just to try it.
Okay, certainly will. What's the longest line you ever waited in?
Um, Probably at the theme park Busch Gardens. It was like when I was a kid, we waited in a line that was like 4 hours for this ride. I don't know why. Um, that's a pretty long line. I mean, what's considered a line? Is a line like you have to be lined up, or is a line anywhere where you're just waiting? Is that a line? Like waiting to get on a flight, is that a line?
Well, it could be anything. As long
I,
as you're queuing up get to get something or get somewhere, then
yeah,
yes,
because
that is
I
something.
yeah, if you're not in a queue and you're just in a room waiting, does that count as a line?
Well, you never know. You could be waiting, but not put into a line, like
Right,
physically.
right. So then that doesn't count as waiting on a line, huh?
You're just waiting.
So just waiting. So I like if I was waiting 4 hours for this ride at Busch Gardens and then I left the line to go to the bathroom and come back, and then I joined the line, I feel like the wait was now started over. Like if I left 2 hours in and said, "Hey, hold my place in line," and I came back, I can't say I was waiting 2 hours because I got out of that line. I was just waiting at that point. I wasn't waiting in line. I was only waiting in line 2 hours if I went to the bathroom 2 hours in. Does this make sense?
Kind of,
Yeah.
yes.
I think if you leave the line, then you can't say you were waiting in line the whole time because then you were just waiting. If you're not in line, then you're only waiting. But if you're in line, you're waiting in line. I think that's
Yes.
what we figured out. Okay.
Yes. It really boggles with your mind.
Really, yeah. What is considered? Yeah, are you waiting? I waited 4 hours for that ride, or did I wait an hour and a half because I went to the bathroom in the middle of it? Who's to say?
Well, I guess we'll never know.
We'll never ever know.
Yeah. What kind of music do you often listen to?
I like lately I've been into white noise a lot, but I'm starting to get into brown noise, which is a little different than white noise. So a lot of people listen to white noise just for sleep, but I like it just kind of all day. But brown noise like it's a little different. I'm really starting to get into it more though, especially while cooking. Putting on brown noise while cooking just really like pumps me up. Um, I've been trying to get into jade noise for working out. I haven't found any good artists I like in the jade noise genre
Hmm. Okay, that's interesting.
yet.
I actually like a bit of white noise in the past, but now I'm more liking brown noise because it has a much deeper tone to it, and it's just a lot more soothing.
Yeah, it's definitely soothing. Oh, I feel like it pumps me up. I'm like, let's go, put on that brown noise. Yeah,
Yeah.
pump it up,
Way.
pump up the jams.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
And that is all we have for this episode. It was great having you here, Keith, talking about your works as an improv teacher and the works of improv and your experiencing the education of theatre and everything else. It's been fabulous.
Great. Thanks for having me. And yeah, hope everyone can check out my book, The Improv Mindset, coming out June 6th. Woo! So soon.
Sweet. And until next time, stay opinionated.
Stay opinionated.
Yeah.